Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for yet another match of the Sevens. Should be very exciting to see how this one goes. Fiji versus Tonga, two Pacific Island sides who love bringing the physicality. And at the moment, they are just showing the All Blacks lineup. So I think they've found the wrong lineups for this matchup. But Tonga versus Fiji should be exciting. And I'm looking forward to seeing the likes of Jerry Tawai. We haven't really seen him for too long, as he was injured for the last few legs of the Sevens series. Looks like they might be trying to find the right lineup to put up on the screen currently. And once they do, that will be very useful for us because at the moment, these Tongan players, that's the thing. I haven't actually watched too many of them play. So it is exciting to see them get the opportunity to have a run in high. Kiwi Lads, says Ollie there as well. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Sushant has said go Fiji a little bit earlier on as well. But it will be the Fijians kicking off this matchup. Right, we haven't got the lineups. So we are just going to be winging it once again. But here we go. We are underway for this match. And we will go like that as well. Okay, Tonga, they are going to have the position here. Sitting just inside of their own half. And it's a nice run straight away. And it seems like Tonga, they definitely will want to get themselves a win back over the Fijians as they were defeated yesterday. Now it's an advantage to Fiji. I'm just quickly getting the lineup up on my phone, seeing as they didn't have it, so that we have got the numbers. So that was actually Mahi who had a very good run forward now. Nice offload back. Fiji in position now. And Big Tui Mamba's got the ball, and he is always hard to stop. Of course, no vulnerability today, unfortunately, for the Fijians all throughout this whole series. Now, my Samoa using some nice steps and almost able to make his way through. Good pressure in the breakdown by Fualolo. It's going to be the penalty advantage, and now it's just a foot race. And normally in a foot race, more than likely, you're not going to be able to catch him. And that will be the first try of the match. Easy peasy for the Fijians. We will go like this. And it was Ratu Rathiri was able to score that one. Boom, boom, pow. Will give them the 7 points because more than likely this kick will be a nice, easy one straight out in front. Which it is indeed. But yeah, Ratu Rathiri, as soon as he makes any meters or any type of line break, you know that you're probably going to struggle to catch him. As he just goes straight through. Number 16, and Reed Nichols says Damien C, Ollie C, Isaac, Thursday, Ninja Valley Youth Plus outing, yes. Says Ollie. I'll take your word for it. Halfway now. And the Fijians about to kick this one off. Go Fiji, says Sushant. So a great start to the match. It's going to be a knock-on now from the Fijians, though. And Mahi has been driven down. And like they're saying, Tonga, because it's been so long since we've seen them really play any sevens, it's going back for the original knock-on. It is going to take a little bit of time for them to adjust. They did have quite a few handling errors in the morning session yesterday. But well, we're hoping that they can use that physicality to their advantage. They are just showing it was Tokai there. I'm trying to work out who was a player yesterday that really stepped up for Tonga. If I had to pick just one, probably Pakalani, number 1 for Tonga. Watch out for him in this first half as well. But now the scrum feed going the way of the Tongans. Also, I see Sam Henry Sports. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. And Q Lads 2 says hi. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. It's a nice push, and now going to the short side. Thought there was a little bit of a gap there. The ball has been put down, unfortunately for Tonga. And Tokai and Halafihi just looking like they weren't quite on the same page for that move. One of them went to the short side. The other just kind of stood there, and then they just pretty much got in each other's way, unfortunately. But our Fiji, they are going to have themselves another scrum feed. Ratu Rathiri getting the first try of the match. They have got a very dangerous backline. My Samoa, I don't think he was starting the match yesterday that we did cover, but Pukekohe and number 7 here about to feed this ball in. Looking at the clock. Wait a minute. The clock in the game I think they're talking about is only actually 40 seconds through, so I think we might have a longer game here than we anticipated, but it's a nice offload on the inside, and once again, oh no, Rata Rathiri is just running rampage, and he's gone straight through, and that will be another try to Fiji, and now they are going to be sitting at 12-0. And hey, Sam, how are you, mate? Says Ollie there, but nice run from Ratu Rathiri. Nice work from Pukekohe to just avoid a couple of the tackles. And then Ratu Rathiri goes in. He might get himself a hat-trick here. That drop kick is missing away to the right-hand side. So I'm not too sure whether or not, I believe my clock is somewhere closer than their clock is currently, because their clock only has it about a minute and a half through this matchup, which is something Oh, okay. They have just said that Fiji have never won the Commonwealth Games gold medal. And with the Commonwealth Games just a couple months away, I think Fiji have got a real good chance of being able to change that and make history. And also, go Fiji, go, says Uppy there. Nice low tackle made. Tonga get him back up, and that was Wolfgram. Now back across. Ioane Teba actually at number 10 for this match. See, that's the thing. All of these numbers have changed from when they were on the World Series circuit. It's a nice run from Halafihi. Finds the offload on the inside. Tonga sitting 40 metres out from the line now and still going forward. Does that man have a number on his back? I want to say that was Kalmave. But I think the number got stretched a little bit. It's another knock on from the Tongans. And now it does mean that it will be the scrum feed for Fiji. And nicely done. Just keep it up with Tosoviti, Sesto Shantnia. And there. And of course, the next game that we are going to be doing on the channel, it is New Zealand versus Australia. That is at about 11:25 a.m. that one will be kicking off. And then alongside that, we have also got a little bit later on Australia versus Fijiana, which should be an exciting matchup as well. But Pukekohe now feeds the ball in for the Fijians. My Samoa in the midfield. I feel like it took like maybe 2 or 3 minutes to work out exactly who was each number. Now nice run down the wing. And Ioane Tewa able to just keep himself in the field of play, but they have said that it's a high shot. Toso Viti Toso. And then as I says Uppy now, my Samoa taking the quick tap. Now they say 3 minutes are gone in this first half, but I believe we are closer to the 5-minute mark currently for Fiji and Tonga. My Samoa taking it quickly. Fiji looking to use their backline, and when they use it, it's dangerous, although they might not need it. Oh, Raturathiri, I think it's just carved his way through. In fact, this time it's Pukekohe who has been able to go in and get himself the 3rd try of the match for Fiji. So we'll add that one to the try scorers list. And now the Fijians, they are sitting on 19, which is very impressive indeed. Definitely this early on in the match, but the kick has gone over. And also, hi, Hamish, there's Brandon as well. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. It's kicked off once again now. Taken nicely. And now, nice pass on the outside. It's going to become a bit of a foot race here. And it is via Matahu. Tonga trying their best to get themselves their first try of this match. Ioane Teva, he wins the penalty for Fiji. Every time there's a breakdown, it just seems like Fiji have got that little bit more of a front foot step. I see New Zealand warming up in the background, / having a bit of a team meeting. Apparently, of course, with their big game up against Australia just around the corner now. Fiji have got this one. A lot of pressure being put on now. Just able to keep that ball out. I believe that was that the siren just then. I'm not too sure whenabouts we are going to have the siren. Nice offload from my Samoa. The Wafa trying to go straight over the top of one of the Tongan players, which is not easy to do. Tonga have got some very physical players out there. Now it's a beautiful sell of the dummy and straight through now. It's going to be Ioane Teba. All he has to do is run it in. He'll be able to use up a little bit more time on the clock. For me, it has about 15 seconds left. He puts the ball down, though, and I believe we will get one more kickoff before we get to halftime, unless, of course, their clock is correct, which, if that is the case, then I have missed like 2 minutes, or I've gained 2 minutes, I guess, of this match, as that is our one going to full time now. It was nicely done once again for Fiji. I don't think we've got a... There we go. We'll go like that. I believe this kick will go over. So I believe that's 26-0 to Fiji now. And that is going to now be halftime between these two sides. Not the first half that Tonga were after, that is for sure. Although they have got their game coming up a little bit later on. They will be playing Australia in their next game, where they will just be looking to try and get something out of this tournament. Of course, like I mentioned, it's been so long since we've seen Tonga in action that it was always going to be a little bit rusty for them. But Fiji, they have not really had any rust throughout this matchup. They have just been pretty dominant throughout the first 7 minutes of this game. I think that's for Kunarabili actually with the drinks. At the moment, normally having the number 1, although it has been held by a different individual for this matchup, who they haven't actually written his name on the back, but I see that Jerry Tawaya's in the huddle. I don't believe we saw him in the first half. He will get the opportunity possibly in the second, and then they are going to be playing New Zealand in the evening game that is taking place at about 5 p.m. New Zealand time. Fiji, they're looking determined here to try and keep on going. I believe whoever has the most wins in this competition, they do get themselves, I guess, the cup. In New Zealand, they have actually got a good advantage when it comes to the women's game because they've got two teams. They've got the Black Ferns Ma and the Black Ferns Pungo. At the moment, it seems like the Ma side might be able to get themselves towards a possible title. I think that the Fijiana side aren't too far off, though, in the rankings. And between the men, it is New Zealand and Fiji who are both leading the way in terms of the points, but they all look ready to go for the second half now. 7 more minutes. And also, I'm watching from a car trip, says Sam Henry Sports. So, yeah, hopefully your car trip is going well for you. Whereabouts are you heading? Is it a long car trip or a short one? And whereabouts is the location you're after? Oceania Rugby. The moment the referee's looking like he's a little bit tired. He's taking some deep breaths. It's actually relatively hot in Pukekohe for the today's day of sevens. I think there's about 4 people in attendance. Unfortunately, not much of a crowd there, but I don't know whether or not they're actually allowed a crowd there for this match. But Tonga have got us back underway, and Fiji have been able to keep that ball. A lot of pressure there in the breakdown from Tonga. That's what they need. Halafihi now trying to bump off the tackle. Oh, it slapped out of his hand, though, and it was just bumping out. And it will be now the scrum feed for the Tongans. And also back to Wellington from Auckland. Is there Henry, and also I'm very tired, says Brandon. Yeah, it's been a big week. We have rugby league, we have rugby union, we have cricket, all sorts on the channel. So I assume that you've also been up to all hours of the night. So yeah, be sure to get yourself some rest at some point. I think for me, my rest is going to be coming for me after State of Origin tonight. I'm probably going to sleep for like a good 15 hours. Try and catch up a little bit of sleep, but a lot of pressure there in the scrum from Fiji once again. Tonga looking to the short side. This could be a good opportunity to try and get themselves their first points on the board. Halafihi looks like he's done all right. I just realized I forgot to start my clock, which does mean we're going to be about 60 seconds behind. But luckily for me, if I go like that, all of a sudden we're in the right spot. Now Fiji, they have been able to get this ball back. Ratura Theory using that pace, now offloading on the inside. Now Ioane Teba, he's too quick. And he's gone through once again. See, that's the thing. They've got Ioane Teba, they got Talatholo. All these flying Fijians who will be able to have an impact in the Commonwealth Games. And how is it already? 26-0. They're just going for it. And also now it's going to be a little bit higher. It's 33-0 now in favour of Fiji. This is not a good result for Tonga. I believe their game up against New Zealand was 31-0. Which was relatively one-sided. Fiji still have another 5 minutes to see if they can get themselves any more tries. On the ball, Ioane Teba, he's got a chance of a hat-trick. Never mind, he's getting taken off the field for Jerry Tawai. And also, I believe, Ratu Rathiri taken off the field. So they've actually taken the 2 guys off who had 2 tries each. And now they have been replaced by Jerry Tawai. Oh, I mean, it's pretty good sub to have this stage of the match. 33-0. 9 minutes through, still another 5 minutes left for the Tongans to be able to try and work out how to get through this defensive line of Fiji. Kaumave now passing it out. Halafi, he's been very impressive in this game, just bumping off anyone who tries to make the tackle on him. My son Moore able to drag him down low, though. Back across for Lau. Nice work from Tonga. It's starting to look like the back line is starting to be on the same page, which is really important. Sorry if I missed quite a lot of the live streams this past year. I've been busy with my football and also first year of college. No worries at all. I mean, at the end of the day, like, we do probably a lot more live streams than a normal working week, if that makes sense. Like, we do have a lot in a row, which does mean that it's very tricky to be at all of them. So it is completely fine. That is going to be another try to Fiji. Straight through. Bukayaro does score it, and we will go like this, and that. Fiji moving up to 40 points now. This is not good. Well, it's very good for Fiji, but not so good for Tonga, who are currently sitting with another 4 minutes left in this matchup. They've still got themselves a tough task ahead of them. Fiji might be able to bring up 50 here. Okay, they've said that Tonga, they've had about 5 times to be able to legitimately have a chance of scoring, but they haven't quite been able to take on that opportunity. Fiji kick off once again, and it's gone deep. And now waiting for the awkward bounce. Nice and cleaned up for Tafolo. And he has been able to take it up. That's going to become a penalty to Fiji. Actually penalty to Tonga that time. Just outside of the 22. Bukayaro, the one giving away that penalty. The man who just scored himself the try. I'm doing 4 live stream row. There's a Brandon there as well. But now it's a nice step. Almost able to go through for Viamatahu Now Halafihi once again stepping still. Just trying to find that gap that didn't quite open up for Tonga. They've still got a little bit of time, though. If they get one try in this match, I know it wouldn't be a win on the scoreboard, but for me, it would be a win for Tonga there. I was late. I just saw the notification. Says, Chris, no worries at all. We have still got 2 more games that we are going to be doing for the morning session, and then 2 games tonight as well coming up. The next one that we are doing, New Zealand versus Australia. Good pressure there from Fiji. Trying to get that ball. You've got to be a little bit more aggressive there for Tongitea. Was just allowing it to sit up, and now Fiji, they will get themselves another try, and this time it's Pukekohe. Now the question is, will he get taken off the field as well? Because anytime someone has got 2 tries, they are then subbed for Fiji, but they're just aggressive. For me, Rodney Tongitea, he's got to dive on that ball, but he just waited, and then it gave Fiji the opportunity to be able to get that one back. Bulla Hamish as well. Sees King T. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Hope you are excited for one last day of Oceania Sevens. And then after this, I believe the next one that we have got is actually going to be the Commonwealth Games. So it's a little way away, but it will be here before we know it, of course. But now we're 2 minutes left on the clock here. Fiji sitting on 47, Tonga sitting on 0. I did not expect this game to be as one-sided as it currently is. I knew that Fiji would come to play because normally it takes them one day where they kind of warm up, and then after that, you don't really want to have to face them. And now Tonga, one last chance to be able to go over Pakalani. Was that Pakalani? He might not actually be number 1 for today. I think some of these guys have switched jerseys, which makes it a little bit tricky with the commentary. Definitely because they didn't actually show the lineups before the match. They showed us New Zealand's lineup, which they are not playing, and got 600 people on the live stream at 4:45. India as well, says Brandon, now running forward. Nice tackle made. Konatani working hard, and I believe the counter ruck, it's worked out, but it is a penalty now to Tonga. One last opportunity. I have said that about 3 times, but this time I mean it because they have got 30 or so seconds left to be able to try and make their way through. And also, I think the Commonwealth Games is at the end of July. And there, so yeah, it is getting closer and closer by the day, which is pretty awesome. We have only got to wait another like 30 days or so till we get to see these 2 sides back in action. And it's going to be massive, that matchup, because at the end of the day, or just the series really, because they mentioned Fiji have never won the Commonwealth Games, and they will probably be favourites heading into it. Pukekohe bumped off there once again. Halafihi is just asserting all sorts of dominance. He's just throwing his body around and throwing anyone around who tries to get near him as well. 15 seconds left now. Back across, it's the hospital pass. He's lined up by Pukekohe. But now nice run down the wing. This is looking good for Falau. And then the siren sounds, but there's one last chance. Jerry Tawai isn't willing to try and make that last-ditch tackle. And Tonga score their first try of the match. So that will give them the 5 points at the end of this game. And the big question is, will it be 7? But for this game, it's definitely gone the way of Fiji. Tonga, they were trying hard. Ziati Falau does go in. Jerry Tawai, I guess it's smart from that man. Yes, he could have well and truly gone for it, tried to make the tackle right at the end of the game, but you don't want to risk injury at this stage. Definitely not with the Commonwealth Games just around the corner, and also not when you've missed the last like 3 or 4 legs of the Sevens due to injury. You wouldn't really want to risk it for one of those tries that may not affect it too much. But that is full time in this matchup. 47 points to 5 between these 2 sides. Fiji victorious. And now our next live stream is going to be starting in only a couple minutes' time, and that will be New Zealand taking on Australia. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all for the next one.